You are now live. Welcome to today's live broadcast on Amazon with Stephen. And today we have a music quiz. So if you have a good knowledge of music, then please join me as we do a 10-question multiple choice quiz to determine our knowledge of music. And we're going to go with the 1970s in a moment. I'm just about to go live on Amazon Live. So go live on Amazon Live 321, and that's looking okay. And we're live on Amazon, so that's good. If I go over here, I should have in my studio. Oh, wait a minute, I don't need to do that, do I? I've already got it in my studio. Okay, so my studio's got the carousel. That's good. I suppose I better start the clock now. We won't run the full 60 seconds, but I just want to make sure that everything's working. I've got the carousel. Do I have, perchance, if I go here, there's that many things to actually take into account. The snake. So let's start the snake. If you comment on Facebook, hello Facebook, hello YouTube, hello Twitch, and hello to Amazon Live. Thank you for joining me. And our first commenter today is the Streamlabs bot. And our second commenter is Seabass. Hello. Okay, play on words, I think. And that comment is coming through from Amazon. So you will join the snake in a moment. And we're just down to 9 seconds. I say we've got the music quiz today. And I'll say hello to, in a second, we'll say hello to. So I come on screen, just a minute. We'll say hello to Mr. Grant Saunders. Grant, thank you for joining me today. We've got a day off today because we don't have a show at 6:30. So this is the main show today. Grant, thank you for joining me. If you want to drop a link to your Amazon Live store, please do. Grant is a fellow insider and, of course, broadcaster on BeLive. If we go over here and go to logo, I can show you the BeLive logo, which is up there. And that means that I'm broadcasting from BeLive, which means I can make people on screen, play YouTube video, show comments on screen from Amazon Live, as well as Facebook and YouTube. So we're all systems go, I think. Thank you, Grant. And you are watching the Nexigo camera, which is down in the carousel. And thank you for watching me live on Amazon. It does mean a great deal, especially this week. We're on a countdown, really, to Black Friday. So everything that we do now is preparation for Black Friday. And we'll be here to help you on the day to decide which of the items on Amazon.com you're actually going to buy. So let's start properly. I'll switch the Nexigo off and let's do a welcome to the show and welcome to the broadcast with Stephen, live from England. And this is, and Grant's at the head of the snake. I know why he's here. This is Lights, Camera, Action with Stephen. And if I bring this card on screen, it will explain a little bit more. So we're talking about the Nexigo N970p, the Logitech Brio, and the OBSBot. And thank you for joining me today. So I can now hide that. I've got one that's got more text on than that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here. Bear with me a moment, switch this camera on. Okay, and then go picture in picture so that you can see the quiz. Okay, I'm shrunk in the bottom right-hand corner. Okay, now the quiz, we're going to run this through today's broadcast, is 10 questions, multiple choice. If you know the answer to any of the quiz questions, then please do enter it in the comments on Amazon. And I'm going to just refresh that page before we start the quiz. And we're going to go with the 1970s. Okay, and we're going to go with, where shall we go? Let's go with 1970 songs. Okay, so Simon and Garfunkel, Shocking Blue, George Harrison, Black Sabbath, Chicago, CCR, Creedence Clearwater Revival, The Beatles, James Taylor, the Kinks, and the Moody Blues were popular in 1970. Okay, so I'm going to press the play button in a minute. I'm going to take that off screen. The first item we're going to look at is the camera you're watching now, which is the Nexigo from Nexigo, an American company. I'll explain all after we've done the first question on the quiz. And let's press play. Right, okay, who had a hit with this song? The song is Big Yellow Taxi. Was it Joni Mitchell, the Beatles, Edwin Starr, or Three Dog Night? So those are the choices. Big Yellow Taxi, Joni Mitchell, the Beatles, Edwin Starr, or Three Dog Night. Whilst you're thinking about that, come to me. Okay, so we've got the first quiz question, and now we're going to look at the first item in the carousel. And I'm just going to get my notes. I've got that many things in the carousel. I have to make notes. And it's the Nexigo N970p 4K webcam. Now, I got this webcam for one particular reason. This is the clearest picture I have ever seen on a webcam. Okay, now I've got the Brio, I've got two OB-spots, but that is the clearest picture I've ever seen. And Corinda has gone to the head of the snake because Corinda has arrived. Corinda's a good friend, lives in Staines in Middlesex, close to Heathrow. And Corinda again. Grant. Okay. And Grant, is Nick here as well? I've not noticed Nick yet. Nick, if you're here, say hello. But I think Nick's working this afternoon, Corinda. So yeah. Okay, right. Let's get on with the show. Okay, let's talk about a Nexigo 970p camera. Now, it is Zoom certified, so this is fine for Zoom meetings. It's got onboard flash memory. This means it can actually remember things. I'm going to show you what it can remember in a moment. But it's got AI-powered auto framing. Now, whether there's just a minute, I need to move on, Corinda. Whether there's one person on screen, 3 people on screen, or 5 people on screen, this camera will auto frame everybody. So if there's one person, it will center you on screen. If there are 3 people, it will show all 3 on screen. And if there are 5 people, it will show all 5 on screen, seated around the conference table. Camera will bring everybody in. And that's basically the best way. If you're you're doing a conference on Zoom and out to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, you've got 5 people involved, then you can sit them all around the table. One microphone, which is part of the Nexigo, and the camera will show all 5 people on screen. It's got an adjustable field of view. If we pay our first visit to the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra and just use the back of it, it's got a 90-degree field of view, which will adjust according to the number of people who are actually appearing on the broadcast. So 1, 3, I need to get the 3 gesture sorted out of 5, actually in camera shot. Now, the reason that as I say, I got this camera is because of the quality of the video. And that's because of a Sony sensor, which I'll tell you more about in a moment. But it is the best picture I've ever seen on a webcam. It's got dual AI noise cancelling microphones. This is important. When you're looking at any camera, it should have noise cancellation. Okay, any webcam, any microphone. Noise cancellation is something you need when you're going live. Because if you don't have noise cancellation and your dog barks, everybody will hear it. Okay, if you've got noise cancellation, the only person who hears the dog is you. So that's why it's important, and do look out for it on any cameras you actually look at. Now, this Nexigo N970p is certified to work with Zoom. And in addition to that, it works with Microsoft Teams, WebEx, and Google. So it is a conference camera. And the reason that it's different from most other cameras, 2 things. One, it's made by Nexigo, and Nexigo are an American company based just outside Seattle. And the second thing is that the N970p is built with a Sony CMOS sensor that features up to 3840 by 2160 ultra high definition resolution at 30 frames per second. If I just pause that for a second, just let me go here and change it. Okay. The N970p is built with a Sony CMOS sensor that features up to 3840 by 2160 resolution at 30 frames per second. Now, the picture that's being sent to you is at 30 frames per second. Okay, 30 images per second being taken from devices in Wiltshire, sent over the internet via the BeLive servers over to Amazon, reassembled so that you can see me talk. In other words, it's not a static picture, it's a moving picture. 30 frames per second is the standard for web browsers, so it meets that. It is a 4K camera. Now, this is the future. 4K is where things are headed. At the moment, I'm broadcasting to you in 720p, which is DVD quality. I could, if I was going on YouTube or on Facebook or on Twitch, broadcasting 1080. 4K is the future. And now is the time to get involved to find out what 4K cameras actually look, well, what you look like on a 4K camera, because it's totally different to appearing on a camera which is a 720 resolution. The thing is that the higher the number, 720, 1080, 4K, the more pixels are being sent over the internet. And the thing about that is the clearer the picture. So if you've not shaved, then it will show. That's all I'm saying. Just be aware of that. And let's catch up with Corinda. And Corinda's may or may not be relevant to what we're talking about, but that's okay. Let's just dial back. I'll get into the quiz today is a music quiz because I'm on my own. Nick normally broadcasts, and I'll show the question in a minute. And back with Corinda. No, it's not a Sony company. It has a Sony part in it. Okay, it said there that it's got a Sony CMOS sensor. It's not a Sony company. It's an American company. You know Zoom is that 1080p. You can't go 4K on Zoom. That's all I know at the moment, Corinda. If somebody wants to correct me, but we can't go 4K on Zoom, but we can go 4K. If you get hold of OBS and you add the Nexigo camera to OBS and you broadcast out to YouTube, you put the resolution to 4K, you can actually broadcast in 4K to YouTube. OBS is free, YouTube is free. And the difference between 720 and 4K is night and day. So thank you for the pointers, Corinda. And the next thing we're going to go on is that you can directly save specific settings to the webcam for instant recall. So we'll have a look at that in a moment. It has, remember the one, oh, Corinda, stop. I'm going to skip that. Okay, you remember it shows one person, 3 people, or 5 people, and it will scale so that you all fit on screen. It is a true conference camera. And the picture, right, and the reason it can do this, it's got advanced face detection, and the AI will automatically frame the video according to the number of people in the meeting. Now, the thing I love about this, when I'm talking about cameras, I always suggest that you download the software. Now, to do that, you go to nexigo.com, type in the N970p, download the software, and you're in control. I'll show you the software in a moment. But the thing about the N970p is it comes with a remote control. That remote control. Now, this remote control controls several different Nexigo cameras. But I'm about to show you what you can do with this control and the Nexigo 970p. It has 10 times digital zoom. Okay, if I press button, right, I've set up presets and they're set up by number. I just need to press preset and the number, preset and the number, and I'm actually then setting up presets. And if I go 1, then that's this preset. If I go 2, then you can see my office. Okay, which is a bit of a, well, it's getting better. I'm working on it. You can see my bookshelf over there. You can see the Samsung all-in-one PC over there. And things, well, the thing is though, this is what I want you to see. I'm pressing button number 1 now. I want you to see a brick wall behind me. And if it wasn't for the crease in it, this particular illusion would work well. Okay, I can go to the right show you the bookshelf. I can go to the left, show you the Samsung all-in-one PC and a bit of product placement, and then come back to me. So I'm doing this during a live broadcast just by using remote control. Remote control takes 2 batteries and it recognizes an Exigo straight away, and you are then in control. Now, if you don't, for whatever reason, like remote controls, what you can do, I'm just going to go over here, is no, I'm going to share screen. I'm going to share a window, and if I go over here and I look for it, you can download the software to go with the camera, and this is the Nexigo software that you can see on screen now. So this is the Nexigo software, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go picture in picture, okay, which should work. The quiz I'll come back to in a moment. Quiz. Shall we do the quiz for a moment, and then I'll come back to the software. So let's show the quiz full screen. So the question is, who had a hit with this song, Big Yellow Taxi? Was it Joni Mitchell, The Beatles, Edwin Starr, or Three Dog Night? If you know the answer, then please add it in now, whilst I'm just checking the comments and seeing what Corinda's up to. Okay. So I'm waiting for the answer to come in. Okay, so this is question 1 of 10. We're going to play this quiz throughout the broadcast. If you know the answer, type the answer in the comments, and you can do that on Amazon Live, on Facebook or YouTube. If you don't type a comment, then I'll put the answer in. The answer to this question is Big Yellow Taxi was Joni Mitchell, which we got correct. Okay, the second song. Who had a hit with this song? The song is War. The options are Edwin Starr, the Carpenters, the Jackson 5, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. And I was talking, let's just take the snake off for a minute. I'm going to remove the snake. We'll bring it back later once the comments start to roll. I just need to click there. And I'm going to replace it. Take the snake off. But what I want to do is I'm going to hide the quiz because we've got our second question, which is war. And now I can actually go picture in picture. And as soon as I take that off, I get a comment coming in. And we say hello to, right, we have an answer. Thank you. Thank you for the answer. Okay, so we'll find out if that's right in a moment. But this is the controls. Thank you for the answer. Appreciate it. If anybody else agrees with C, then please type the answer in. But these are the controls for the camera. And basically what you can do is you can change the brightness. So if you look bottom right, you'll see as I'm controlling these, I'm going light and dark. I can change the contrast using the software. I can change the saturation. Yeah, I'm going to change the brightness down a bit so you can actually see. I can change the gamma setting, and I can change the backlight compensation, all of which ends up, just a minute, with me looking like this. Okay, the thing is, you use the controls so that you're happy with how you look on screen. And if you get it wrong, then basically what you can do is you can press defaults and everything is reset. And that's the magic. Okay, so you can reset everything with the software. The remote has 10 times digital zoom. We've got dual microphones, and the Nexigo, this is important. Nexigo is an American-born brand built on the core values of innovation. So the Nexigo N970p. Now, the first Nexigo camera I saw was my friend Nick Wood was using the Nexigo on our normal Monday broadcast, and that was $50, $60. The Nexigo range, I mean, they started off as retailers, retailing electronic equipment, including broadcasting equipment. Then they spotted a gap in the market for cameras. And they now have they're based just outside Seattle. They now have a range of 15 cameras from $50 up to $189. And basically, if you click link in the carousel, you'll find out more about the Nexigo 970p, which is the camera that you've been watching. And I love this is the best picture I've seen on a camera. So I'm just going to take my BeLive logo off for a moment. Let's just hide the logo. Put my logo on so you know who you're watching. Okay, so you're watching Stephen Healey live from Wiltshire in England, and that was the Nexigo N970p camera. Let's go back to our quiz. And our second question on the quiz was, who had a hit with War? Was it Edwin Starr, the Carpenters, Jackson 5, or Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young? And commenting on Amazon, C, I said Edwin Starr. I have to totally agree with you. So let's go for Edwin Starr, which is correct. Right, song number 3. Who had a hit with this song? I Need Your Help, C. I Need Your Help. Who had a hit with 25 or 6 to 4? Was it Joni Mitchell, the Beatles, Jimi Hendrix, or Chicago? Now, I do need your help because I've got to be honest here. I've got to be honest. I'll just come here. I don't have a clue. Just let me zoom in twice. Once, twice. No, not twice. And go there. Okay. I don't have a clue. So if you know the answer, then please do type it in. But you got that one and totally correct. Okay, so now we're looking at the next camera in the carousel, which is the Logitech Brio. Now, the thing about the Logitech Brio is that today it is 14% discount. If you click link in the carousel, you'll get a 14% discount on the Logitech Brio. Now, I just need to switch my notes over to the Logitech Brio. Okay, and we're ready to go. So, just a reminder of the quiz question so you can all think about it whilst I'm here. Not that one. I can hide that. Okay, and I can come back to the quiz. The song is 25 or 6 to 4, and was it Joni Mitchell, the Beatles, Jimi Hendrix Experience, or Chicago? If you know the answer, then please do type it in the comments because I need all the help I can get. Okay, now the camera you're looking at the moment, it says down there, is Logitech Brio. It's the camera down in the carousel. If you click the link in the carousel, then basically you'll get more information. But I'm going to give you my review of this camera. Okay, it is the Logitech Brio 4K webcam. It's an ultra 4K HD webcam. Okay, that means this is the best we can get in cameras, 4K. 4K is the future, as we saw with the Nexigo, and one day, once the internet's been upgraded, we'll all be able to broadcast in 4K. We are at the beginning of things happening as regards 4K broadcasting. Now's the time to get used to it. The Brio has a noise cancelling microphone, mentioned that earlier. It's important if the dog barks, you don't want anybody else to hear it. It's got HD light auto correction. If I switch my light off, just a minute. Okay, then I will go darker. I've got the room lights on because it's 4:30 in the UK and it's dark. Well, I have got the room lights on, but if I switch my main light back on again, I will go lighter. The light is above my monitor. It's Logitech Litra Glow, which you will find down in the carousel. It has a wide field of view. Basically, if I use my Samsung Galaxy, again, it's coming in very useful. It's got a 90-degree field of view. And within the 90 degrees, you can either go 78 or 65. So you've got a choice. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute. It is 4 times the resolution of a typical webcam. When you're looking at webcams, you'll see 720 and 1080. The one you want to be looking out for is 4K. Okay, and I'm showing you three 4K cameras today. Auto light adjustment is called right light. Everybody's got their own, and it has 3 fields of view. So shall we again demonstrate when you get a new camera, when you get a new microphone, when you get a new piece of hardware, do go to the website of the manufacturer and download the software that goes with it. If you don't do that, then you're only using about 10% of what the camera can do or the microphone can do. Software is important. So what I'm going to do now is going to share my screen again. And this time I'm going to bring in the software that controls most Logitech cameras. Okay, now this is, if I go here and bring this full screen, okay, this is a program called Logitech Capture. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how it works by coming back on screen. Okay, and I'm going to hide the quiz again. And Logitech Capture, this is the software. Now, basically, if I change my studio, just bear with me a moment, I'm just changing up my studio, and I'm going to go here and apply, and then go side by side. Okay, so with the right way around, I'm side by side, I'm happy. The thing about software is what you can do is you've got control of the camera. And as with the Nexigo, if I zoom out once, twice, just a minute. That did go quite according to plan. Just a minute. Let's take that off screen. Let's switch that camera off. Okay, so I've switched the camera off and I'm going to switch this camera on. And what I meant to do, I've got myself log legged here. Leg locked. Log legged, that's a good one, isn't it? Just a minute, that camera is good. And this one should show as well. Just a minute. Okay, so there's the software. And if I take that off full screen, right, that's better. Okay, if I zoom out and I go 78 degrees, you're actually seeing my office now. But using the software, I can zoom in once, twice, and go 78 degrees. And this is how I want to appear on camera. You have great control with the settings. I can change the lighting, not to that lighting. I can change the color intensity. I can drag that over here and put that. That's not a good look, is it? I mean, if I sit here for a moment, it looks like I've got war paint on. This is using the camera's software, and it's important because you don't want to have anything bad happen. Again, I can press the restore or reset it to 50%. All the defaults are 50%. If I go side by side, then you can actually see the software. And what I went to the color contrast, put that right up, and then came back down again to 50%. I can change the contrast. I can go monochrome. You can have great fun just adjusting the camera settings, and you can go bright and you can go dark and always go back to 50%. So the software is called Logitech Capture. If you've got a Logitech 920, C920, 922, 925, 930, or a C270, then this software will control your Logitech camera. Just go to logitech.com, download the software, and you are in control. And I'm going to hide that. Come back to me and go here, and I can remove that. Okay, and I can remove that. Okay, so we're getting a bit tidier. the camera that we're actually looking at the moment, if I bring this on screen, we're looking, this is what the camera looks like. We're looking at Logitech Brio. This is the camera. It's got twin microphones. It sits on the back of your monitor, or, well, we'll see in a minute. If I come back into the screen and I take that off solo, then we've got me and the camera. So I'm going to go like this, and you can now see the camera. It is the Logitech Brio. We've looked at the camera's default settings, which is basically zooming out. I'm using a photography backdrop. You'll find that in the carousel too. And I am broadcasting from below. So that is the Brio camera. And it's the first 4K camera that I bought. And it is an excellent first camera for 4K. Right, let's go back to the quiz. And we're doing a music quiz, and I definitely don't know the answer to this. So let's check the comments. I'm going to scroll down the comments. Just let me have a look at what's being said. And right. Okay. And we've no recent comments, but I want to say thank you for the comments so far. And I have to take a guess here. If you know the answer, who had a hit with this song, 25 or 6-4? Was it Joni Mitchell, the Beatles, Jimi Hendrix Experience, or Chicago? I'm going to get this wrong. I know I'm going to get this wrong, but I'm going to go for it anyway. Unless somebody stops me, I'm about to go Chicago. Whew! Right. Okay. Wow. We've got 3 out of 3 so far. So the next question is, you had a hit with this song, They Long to Be Close to You. Was it the Carpenters, James Brown, Free, or George Harrison? The Carpenters, James Brown, Free, or George Harrison? Just type your answer in the comments as we look at our next camera, which is the Oberspot Tiny, and you can see it here. And what I'm going to do is take its title off. Okay, so you're looking at the Oberspot 4K camera. Now, the Oberspot is a special camera. It's also a conference camera. It's a 4K camera. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the controls. Right, so I've got me now. Okay, now the thing about the Oberspot 4K is I'm going to tell you about it, then I'll give you a demonstration of the software. But the first thing is that this is me. This is my desktop, and I can just about show you this because it's going dark outside. Okay, you can see all the stands, and that is what an Oberspot looks like. You have the lens on top, you have a 2-axis gimbal, and then the body. It's USB-C to USB-A, and this time, instead of mounting it on my monitor, I've actually mounted it on this elegant Lume Cube stand, which is down in the carousel. So if you want to know more about this, just scroll the carousel, and you'll find out more about Lume Cube and the Oberspot. Okay, and if you click the link in the carousel, the Oberspot today is $269. So let's just reiterate. This is me. This is my desktop. Wait a minute. This is my desktop. Okay, and then this may or may not work. It's going dark. Let's see what we can see. And I've got a comment coming in. And there you can see, basically, I'm 5 hours ahead of you. Thank you for the question, Jason. I shall answer it during this broadcast. Thank you. And just so that you know, you are now, just a minute. Let's have a bit of fun with this. You are now at the head of the snake. And thank you for the follow. See, this is a win-win situation. Jason has asked a question and immediately is now leading the snake. I'll answer the question as I can. Jason, thank you for the comment. Okay. Now it is dark outside. You can see the winds blowing. Alexa, what is the temperature?
At the moment, it's 12 degrees Celsius. Tonight, you
Alexa,
can
stop.
a low of 10.
Alexa, what is 12 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit?
12 degrees Celsius is 53.6 degrees Fahrenheit.
Thank you. Okay, so let's come back. So that's the outside view. I can zoom out. You're actually looking through my office window. The camera has 4 times zoom. This is the 1080p camera. I'm actually you watching me on the 4K camera. Okay, and to answer your question, Jason, I'm back now. To answer your question directly, I got the original Obspot back in January this year, and then I was I'm so happy with it that I actually got the 4K as well. So I've got 2 Obspots. So I just love them. They're a great quality picture. And the thing is that they've got the 3 presets. And I'm just going to give you a list of the things that we can do. Then it can do, and then I'll give you a demonstration. But thank you for the question. And let's just go over here. And we're going to go through the salient features of, if I can find it, just a minute. And I'll give you my opinion as we go through. So we're looking at the Obspot Tiny PTZ camera. It is AI powered with auto framing and autofocus. I'll show you that in a moment so you get an idea of what it can do. It is a 4K video conference camera. If you put this in the center of the conference table, imagine 5 people around a conference table, then the person controlling the software, which I'll show you in a moment, can go from speaker 1 to speaker 2 to speaker 3 and then back again. And you've got the microphones, that you've got dual omnidirectional microphones, which means that everybody's voice will be picked up. So it is a great conference camera. It's a brilliant solo camera too. As we've seen, it's got twin-axis gimbal, 2-axis gimbal, and it's got auto tracking. Now, it's also got fast auto tracking, which I'm not going to demonstrate, but I will demonstrate auto tracking. It can follow you. And what it's got is face recognition. And basically, that means that the Obspot can actually follow your movements, as I hopefully will prove in a moment. Low light correction. If I switch the lights off, I will stop being shiny, or ish, and the camera is now compensating for the low light. So, okay, so let's switch the light back on. Okay, so the light is back on and I'm definitely shiny. And another question coming from Jason. And Jason is saying, great. I live stream, so sounds like a good fit to me. Excellent. Okay, well, I'm glad that it's a first-class camera from a first-class company. The thing I love about it, the quality of the picture, and the big thing to me, I'm a software guy. Before I got into this, I still write software. And the thing about Obspot is they're updating the software continually. They update the firmware on a regular basis for the cameras themselves. They update the operating software, which you download from Obspot. And the one piece of software controls both my Obspots. And I love the fact that they keep it up to date. So low light correction, and it's got magical gesture control. If I go like that, then it will start following me. If I go like that, it will stop following me. If I go like that, it will zoom in. If I go like that, it will zoom out. Okay. It has dual omnidirectional microphones with noise reduction. And just carrying on, 3 preset positions. We've seen that. We've seen me, we've seen the desktop, and we've seen outside. It's got AI tracking, which I'll demonstrate in a moment. You can either mount it on your monitor or you can mount it on a tripod. Now, if you go for the tripod, let's just go here. If you go for the tripod, then basically it just sits like that. Now, the beauty of putting it on a tripod is that you can set the tripod to be at eye level. One of the problems that we have as broadcasting whether you're broadcasting on Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, is looking at the camera. And if you've got the camera at eye level, then that's where the tripod comes in, rather than being on top of your monitor. Okay, now let's come back to me. This is the bit of the demonstration that I look forward to, and basically Grant wants to be the head of the snake again. Welcome back, Grant. This is the bit that I look forward to, because this shows basically why I love the Oberspot. We've got the 3 preset positions. We've got the 4K, we've got the 1080p, we've got the 720p, you've got dual microphones, you've got everything you want in a camera, but you've also got this. And this may or may not work, as Grant knows. Okay. Are we ready for this? I'm going to move backwards. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand up. Okay. And what's happening? The Oberspot has tracking built in. Okay. It's got facial recognition. It can track me. As I move about, not too much, the Oberspot will actually track me, and it will keep me with headroom, and it'll keep me in the center of the screen. And that's absolutely brilliant. It's got fast tracking, so that if you're running around a gym, it will track you. If you're running a 100-yard race, it will track you. But the thing about it is, that as far as me is concerned, as far as I'm concerned, is presentation. And I can actually stand up, yeah, and I can demonstrate to you this beautiful Lamicall stand, which is down in the carousel. Okay, and I put it close to the camera so you can actually see it. So it gives me 2 demonstration modes. I can actually sit down to present on Amazon Live, or I can stand up. Okay, and I'm working towards doing more stand up, as it were, especially when it comes to actually demonstrating and lifting things up. For example, down in the carousel is this IPEVO stand, and this is a brilliant stand, which I'll show you in a moment. But the thing about the Oberspot is actually tracking my every movement. It's got a 130-degree field of view, which means that I can go, I'm actually now parallel to the monitor, and the camera is moving to keep me in the picture. Okay, behind me is an Under Armour rucksack and a picture of Avebury Stone Circle, which is not as well known as Stonehenge, but it's about half an hour from where I live. But the thing I do love, he said, destroying his office, is the fact that it's keeping me in the center of the screen. If I look at the camera, it'll position me perfectly in the center of the screen. So, Jason, you asked why I love the Oberspot. That's it. It is the most fun I've had with the camera. It has the most functions built in. For a PTZ camera, pan, tilt, and zoom, the price is very good as well. If you're looking for a PTZ camera, the price is excellent. And it has 4 times zoom, and it has a 4K output. And it's just a brilliant, brilliant picture. I can't show you the 4K picture because I'm actually broadcasting on Amazon Live in 720 at the moment. So there you are. So whilst I'm sitting down, I'm going to go back to the desktop. Okay. And go back here. And this is my desktop. And there is the Oberspot. And if I come back to my studio and back to me, and we say hello to Alanda, welcome, and thank you for actually commenting and saying, right, so let's go back to Jason. Jason was saying, Stephen, thank you for the other viewers. Today there is a 50, right, okay. Thank you for that, Jason. If you click the link in the carousel, there's a $50 coupon today. So, Jason, you've been more than helpful. I do appreciate your input. So, Jason said, great, good fit. And then there's a $50 coupon if you click the link in the carousel. Awesome, thank you. And Mr. Grant Saunders, my fellow broadcaster, is saying, hit that follow button. In actual, just a minute. When I move, the set's moving. That's better. Okay. Grant is a fellow live broadcaster on Amazon Live. We're grateful to be here. We enjoy broadcasting Amazon Live. Grant, if you want to drop your link into the comments, then please do. And the next comment is from a new viewer. And I'd like to say a big welcome to Alanda. Thank you for joining me today. And you are on Facebook. Thank you. Thank you for commenting. Comments make the world go round. They're very important. And something I forget to do, Grant, okay, Grant just said, okay, hit that follow button. And following is important. Okay, you have the opportunity here to, if you're on the Amazon page, and the link is up above if you're on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, you have the opportunity to build your, just let me move that away from my head. Just let me put that there. Okay. You've got the opportunity to build your own TV channel. As you watch live broadcasters, there are over 2,000 of us. We're all independent. We don't work for Amazon. If you enjoy somebody's broadcast, the biggest compliment you can pay them is to hit the follow button. Yeah. Now, Grant and I are in the UK, and it is important to us. Just a minute. I just want to check something. Just want to take a screenshot. At the moment in my studio, just let me take a screenshot because this is a momentous occasion. I'm just taking a screen capture. Just bear with me a second. Let me go here. I just want to freeze frame this for the reason that, okay, I'm back. In my studio, I need the reading lessons. Studio, it says that 60 people are watching live concurrently, which is possible. But I just wanted to record that moment because, well, it's just a nice moment. And we go over to Alanda, and Alanda is saying, you there with your friends? Well, thank you. And shout out to Alanda's friends, and thank you for watching me live. And if you're interested in live broadcasting, then watch this space on my page. If you're watching on my page, because I'm starting in 2023 a series of training courses about how you can do this. Okay, this being live is a learned skill. We're not born with the ability to go live. We learn how to do it, and we learn confidence on camera. We learn how to run the studio, and I enjoy teaching people how to do this. So I'm starting a series of courses, planning through November, December, and we'll launch in January. Okay, and that's the follow button. And thank you for commenting. Alanda, everybody, hello. Right, okay, now, so we've looked, if I go back here and I take solo off, I've nearly forgot about the quiz. So let's go back to the quiz. And we are currently on question 4 of 10. And the question is, who had a hit with this song, They Long to Be Close to You? Okay, and the options are the Carpenters, James Brown, Free, or George Harrison. Who had a hit with Close to You? Was it the Carpenters, James Brown, or Free, or George Harrison? If you know the answer, type it in the comments. We are doing 70s hit songs. And so far we've got 4 out of 4. 3 out of 3, sorry. And I'm going to go with the Carpenters. Okay. Question 5. Right, okay, now you should know this one. If you know the answer to this one, just type it in the comments. The song is Bridge Over Troubled Water. And your options are, just a minute, Free, The Guess Who, Three Dog Night, or Simon and Garfunkel. Just to read that again. Free, the Guess Who, Three Dog Night, or Simon and Garfunkel? Do make your answers now. And basically what we can do then is we can answer the question after the next item. So let me take that off screen. Okay. And when we get some more comments in, I'll put the snake back, but I'm switching the snake off for now. And I'm going to go to the next item in the carousel. Before I do that, let me just make an adjustment. Go to logos. I'm going to switch my logo off and apply. And I'm going to put this up on screen just so that just know this is what I'm not that. I'm going to put this up on screen just a second. Right, your host is Stephen Healey, live from England. We're talking about live broadcasting. We've talked about Logitech Brio. We are going to talk about Samsung S22 Mobile. I want to say a big thank you for actually watching me live. This is something I enjoy doing. I'm live at 11 a.m. Eastern every single weekday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, talking about live broadcasting. If you've got any questions about live broadcasting, please do ask. I'm here to help. Okay, this is a free resource from Amazon.com. Basically, if you click the link in the carousel, if you're interested in something, that helps me. And there is no cost for actually watching me, but I'm just grateful to be here. And I'm just going to catch up with the comments. And I can see, just a minute, I need my glasses for this. Okay, let's go to the comments. And Grant Saunders is saying, hit that follow button. Okay, so if you can see it, hit it. Okay, but thank you for watching. And I'm going to switch that off by pressing a button and bring back the snake. Okay, now the snake is going to go round and round. It's just a bit of fun from BeLive. It was written during a hackathon at BeLive and has now been brought into the real world. And if you want to, when you comment, you will appear at the head of the snake. Okay, simple as that. And the snake's going around. One of the things that we need to do when we're broadcasting live is to attract attention. And that's why that is there, to attract your attention. I'm not going to put it on for the full broadcast, but I'm going to switch it on and off at various points in the broadcast. And I've just gone out of focus. Just a minute. Let's go to a camera that has focus. Okay, so this camera has focus. You can go out of focus on a camera if you move too quickly. Yeah, right. Okay, now just a note about screencraft. Being on camera, once you've done it, is an enjoyable experience, an exciting experience. You always get sort of, before you go live, just a minute, before you go live, you always get sort of nervous energy so that you can actually come live and do a presentation and you can talk to people. But in terms of, first of all, when you're on camera, be yourself. Okay, don't pretend to be somebody else. Be yourself. Next thing is get yourself roughly in the center of the screen and make sure you have headroom and make sure that you're happy with how you look. Don't get in. Okay, I've seen too many people on Zoom calls with the top of their head cut off. That's not a good look. You want to be basically have headroom, and that's the technical term for it as well, a space. Right, I'm back. Okay, and basically, I'm just going to close a few tabs down. Just let me close the tab there, and I'm going to close that tab. Okay, and I'm back. What we had there was, well, it was basically that little glitch there was something that can happen to any live broadcaster. This is not television, okay? And we are reliant on the internet. And at that particular point in time, I lost my internet connection. Totally lost it. All you need to do is to refresh your browser and then you can come back. That's the key. Refresh your browser and then you can come back on screen. And that worked because the broadcast continues. Yeah, it's independent of me. The broadcast will continue. Okay, right. So let's go. And what I'm going to do is hopefully, I've lost the screen share, won't I? Just a minute. Just let me go for a screen share. These things are sent to trials, but you just got to carry on. And I'm going to go to a Chrome tab. I'm going to go there, share, and I'm going to bring it on screen. So come back to me and show it solo. Okay, so the question we have and the question that we need to answer, let's go here, is who had a hit with Bridge Over the Troubled Water? Was it Free, The Guess Who, Three Dog Night, or Simon and Garfunkel? If you know the answer, then please type it in the comments on Facebook, YouTube, or Amazon Live, which is where we're broadcasting today. Okay, now I'm going to give you a second or two. If I go side by side. Okay, we've been looking at the Logitech Brio camera. That's it. It's 120. We looked at the, well, we've looked at the Nexigo, we looked at the OBSBot, and we're looking at the Brio. And the thing about the Brio is that the Brio is on discount today. It's 14% off. So if you're interested in a Logitech Brio, then click the link in the carousel and you get 14% off. Okay, let's bring the quiz back. And the question is, who had a hit with Bridge Over Troubled Water, Free, The Guess Who, Three Dog Night, or Simon and Garfunkel? Simon and Garfunkel. Okay. Question 6. Oh, this is who had a hit with the song Cecilia? Was it the Carpenters, Simon and Garfunkel, James Brown, or the Beatles? Which of those had a hit with Cecilia? And next in the carousel, I'm going to go to, just a minute, just let me scroll the carousel and we'll find our next item. Okay, I think we're good to go, yeah. Okay, the next item I'm going to look at is this. Oh, I looked at the C920X we'll look at tomorrow, the OBSBot we'll look at tomorrow, but the next thing we're going to look at is the Fitbit Charge 5, which is down the carousel. And we're going to talk about that. Just a reminder on the quiz. The quiz question number 6 of 10 is who had a hit with Cecilia? Was it the Carpenters, Simon and Garfunkel, James Brown, or the Beatles? Okay, I've got my own ideas. And let's just scroll through the comments. And I've just posted a link on Facebook and YouTube to the Fitbit Charge 5. That is not an affiliate link. So you can click that and it's on Facebook and on YouTube. And all that happens is because I'm broadcasting live from my BeLive studio. Okay, so let's just hide the quiz for a moment. And I'm going to go next to the Fitbit Charge 5. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the Fitbit Charge 5. And then I'm going to show you my own personal dashboard on Fitbit. First thing to say is that this is, just a minute. Let me save that and see what happens. This is the first Fitbit, if I put it close to the screen, which is in color. And it's the first Fitbit that has GPS, which means I don't need any of the software. I don't need Strava. I don't need anything like that to just actually track my walks. Now, it works simply. First of all, it's owned by Google. Fitbit is owned by Google. So as far as financial security is concerned, the other thing about this is it's in the carousel at $148.95 today. This is not a subscription item. If you buy this, everything I'm about to show you is included and is totally free. The first thing that you do, and I'm going to bring this in, I'm going to stop screen share. Just a minute. I'm going to start screen share again. So let's go here. I'm going to show you my own personal dashboard on Fitbit, and this is why I love Fitbits. This is, if I go here and just over here, the Chrome tab, and go to my Fitbit dashboard, and now bring it up on screen. You're now looking at my personal dashboard on Fitbit.com. One of the first things you do is you actually register. And if I take that off solo, I'm going to hide that, take that off solo, and hopefully the end result will be that I will be picture in picture. Okay, and I'm going to shrink myself. Just give me a second. And go there. Okay, I just want to check something. Just give me a second. I'm just going over to my Samsung Galaxy S22. And I'm going to go to here. I'm just checking. Just going over to my Samsung Galaxy S22. Right. Okay, I can still be heard. Okay, when there are times during a broadcast when you think, can people hear me? So I'm glad you can still hear me. I'm glad you're still watching me on Amazon Live. I'd like to say thank you. And this is the benefits of having a Fitbit. So let's go to the top. The first thing, that Fitbit is a community. And when you join the community, you can join in ladders. Now, every week on Fitbit, which is an international website where you can meet friends around the globe, all of whom are interested in the same thing as you. And that quite simply is staying fit with a Fitbit. Okay. Fitbit is designed to help you stay fit. Fitbit.com is designed to push you. Yeah. Fitbit.com is your motivator, because you meet people from all around the world, all of whom have got a Fitbit, all of whom want to stay fit by walking, running, jogging, or cycling. Now, the information I'm about to show you is mine, and I'm sharing it freely. So let's have a go. And the first thing about Fitbit is this: you become part of a community. If you want fitness advice, if you want to make friends, then Fitbit is the place to be, because as I just said, everybody has the same motivation. There are 2 challenges each week. Yeah. A weekday challenge and a weekend challenge. Now, I'm currently in 2 challenges at the moment. The idea is it's a ladder. Who does the most activity during the week or at the weekend? Now, I'm never going to come top of the ladder, but I do try and be in the middle. And it's the greatest motivation. If I go out the door and I do a 3-mile walk, people in the group will cheer me. If somebody else in the group does a 4-mile walk, then I will cheer them. And it's a mutually supportive situation. And all this is free. You bought the Fitbit. What I'm showing you is free. Okay, let's go back again and go here. The next thing is that it will actually tell you how much sleep you had last night. Now, I was worn out by the weekend and I actually got 9 hours, 9 minutes sleep last night. If you wear your Fitbit for 4 days, you can get advice on improving your sleep pattern should you wish. 60,000 steps is the most steps I've done in a day. And just give me a second. You may hear jangling in the background. It's quite safe. I should be back. Let's come back over here and come back to me. I use a Fitbit because basically I use it to exercise, and then I can go and do marathons. I do marathon walking, and basically this is a medal that I earned for walking from Avebury to Stonehenge, which is 26 miles, 385 yards. I couldn't run 26 miles, 385 yards, but I can walk it. And I got this medal. So excuse me a moment. I don't get to wear it very often. I'm just going to put this medal on. Okay. So that's for walking 26 miles, 385 yards. And I train using the Fitbit Charge 5 that's down in the carousel. Even more astonishingly, I have this medal. And this medal is for doing a 10K, a real 10K, not pretend, a real 10K. So I'm going to put this medal on as well. Okay. Now, going out your front door and walking is the simplest exercise there is, because you don't need to go to the swimming pool. You don't need a bike. You don't need anything. You just need your 2 feet. You go out and you walk. Simple as that. So that's why on here, it says that I walk 60,000 steps in a day. I walked 30 miles in one day. And that is purely and simply because of walking the marathon, yeah, which is this medal, yeah, and basically before the marathon and after the marathon, so 60,000 steps. Now, everything I'm telling you is free once you bought the Fitbit. You can keep a weight diary, and basically you can record your weight on a daily basis, and you can set a target. Now, I've got another 3 pounds to lose yet, but you can keep a daily, a weekly, or a monthly weight diary. In addition to that, on the website or on the mobile app on iPhone or Android, you can keep a food diary. All the common American foodstuffs are in the database, so you can say what you had for breakfast, what you had for lunch, what you had for an evening meal, and the snacks you had along the way, how much you drank, how much you ate. Now, Fitbit is telling you how many calories you used. You are recording how many calories you ate. So you then can track how you're doing. Now, the bit that I like is down here. If I scroll down the page and go to here, okay, the device is monitoring day by day. The website is monitoring longer term. So today it says that I walked 5.72 miles. Okay, I went out at 1:30 this afternoon and I went for a walk. This week, I've done 33 miles. Okay. This month, I've walked 133 miles, 65. And the Fitbit is tracking it all. For the last 12 months, I've done 919 miles. My target, my personal target, is to do 1,000 miles in a year. With the help of Fitbit, I will get there. But the difference between this Fitbit and other Fitbits is that this Fitbit has GPS, which means that if I go to view details here, it will take a second or two. When I go for a walk and I set my Fitbit to run, then when I come back, I get all the stats, and hopefully in a second, I will actually get this. Okay, this is a graph of a walk I did last Thursday. And as you can see, it's got the route. Is it route or route? Route. It's got the route. And underneath that, it's got my exercise details. I've got to say, this was a very wet day. I set off from home, yeah, and then I went through town, past the brewery, and I went down to heading towards a place called Roud. Angelica was with me, and we went down the road, and then there is a restaurant, called the Rowdy Cow, and Angelica and I had lunch there. Then Angelica decided that she would walk back the way we came, and I decided that I would carry on. And I went through the village of Roud until I got to through Roud and down, and I actually got to here, to the canal. And I was going to go onto the canal, and you usually get onto the canal by crossing a bridge, but the bridge was flooded. So I crossed over the road, and there's a tunnel, and the tunnel had 6 feet of water in it. So I didn't get onto the canal, which meant I had to come onto the main road, which is here, and then I went up the main road and back home. But the magical information that I've got is that I spent 46 minutes at peak exercise, 56 minutes cardio, and 57 minutes fat burn. This, in terms of keeping fit, this information is golden. How long you're doing cardio work for, how long you're doing fat loss for. There is a difference between going for a walk, a stroll, and actually going and walking purposefully. You can actually get this Fitbit Charge 5 to give you a map of where you've been. It can also track you and show your times per mile. Okay, and you look at some of those, and I would, if you think about it, the average walking pace is to do a mile in 20 minutes. Some of those miles there, if I put my glasses on so I can actually see, and we're talking about this bit here, okay, I actually did a mile in 15:20, 15:42, and then the last section on the way home, 15:20. So I'm actually doing roughly 4 miles an hour, and that's just with practice. Okay, let's hide that now. So that's the Fitbit Charge 5. It's down in the carousel, and it's my way of staying fit. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come back to me. Okay, and I'm going to switch. I'm going to hide that. Just a minute. Hide. Yeah. And I'm going to switch that camera on. That camera on. Take that off solo. Okay, so you've been watching 3 of me today on 3 cameras, and we're going to now, hopefully, if I go over here, I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to share my screen again, and we're actually going to finish off the quiz. Okay, so I'm going to come over here. Okay, and whilst I'm finishing off the quiz, we'll look at the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. So let's bring the quiz on screen. Okay, so if you know the answer to any of these, let me come picture in picture. If you know the answer to any of these, then please do help. Okay, if you know the answer. So we're going to finish the quiz. We have 5 questions to go. I may need your help, so don't go anywhere. Right, who had a hit with Cecilia? The answer is Simon & Garfunkel. Okay, question 7. Who had a hit with My Sweet Lord? If you know the answer, please type the answer in. And we've got an answer. Just a minute. We've got an answer. Okay, and Efreen's saying hello. Brilliant, Efreen. Thank you for joining. If you know the answer, and that was the answer to the last question, wasn't it? Okay, so if you know the answer to My Sweet Lord, was it George Harrison, Simon & Garfunkel, The Guess Who, or Black Sabbath? Okay, Efreen, if you know the answer, now would be the good time to type it. Okay, so we're doing 70s songs, and we're doing who had a hit with, and the song is My Sweet Lord. Was it George Harrison, The Guess Who, Simon & Garfunkel, or Black Sabbath? And I think Efreen's moved, well, he might be here, but I'm going to go with George Harrison. Okay. Question number 8, Fire and Rain. Okay. Who had a hit with Fire and Rain? Was it James Taylor, George Harrison, Black Sabbath, or Led Zeppelin? And if you know the answer and you're watching on Amazon, please type the answer in. If you know the answer on Facebook, type the answer in. If you know the answer on YouTube, type the answer in. And we have an answer coming in. And hopefully it's not the answer. And Ephraim, Dr. Elo is actually saying the answer is James Taylor. So we're going to go with James Taylor. Well played, sir. Excellent. Question 9. Who had a hit with this song? American Woman. And you probably hear them singing it now. Was it the Guess Who, Edwin Starr, Mungo Jerry, or George Harrison? Mungo Jerry did a song called In the Summertime. Edwin Starr did War. Guess Who, I think, are a Canadian band. But who do you think actually sang American Woman? Ephraim, if you're there, just type in the answer and I'll take your answer. To everybody who's watching live on Amazon Live, I'd like to say a big thank you. And Ephraim is saying Guess Who, but Lenny Kravitz made it better. Okay, so I've got to do this. I'm going to bring back the snake, because at the head of the snake, as you will see, is Dr. Elo. And thank you to everybody who's actually commented today. We've got quite a snake. 3, 6, 9 people on the snake today. Absolutely brilliant. So the answer is, just checking, is Guess Who? Okay, which brings us to question 10. And the last question of this session is, who'll stop the rain? Was it Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, the Jackson 5, Mungo Jerry, or Creedence Clearwater Revival? If you know the answer and you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, or amazingly on Amazon Live, just type in the answer. And tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern, we'll be looking at the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, and we have another answer coming into my studio. And Ephraim is saying Creedence. Brilliant. Okay, so question 10. Who'll stop the rain? I wish I could get Alexa to play it, but she can't. So we're going to go with CCR, Creedence Clearwater Revival, and we've got 10 out of 10, which means that we actually today got an excellent score, 10 out of 10. The average is 8.26. 57,362 people have actually played this quiz. The quiz is provided by Trivia Plaza. Simply go to triviaplaza.com and ask for permission. You can use their quizzes in anything you like. Just get permission first. And you partied too much. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's come back to me and go here. I want to say a big thank you to everybody who's joined in the broadcast today, to everybody who's commented, and there's a comment coming in and saying he loves 70s songs. Brilliant. I was there. Right. Okay. To everybody who's watched this live, absolutely brilliant. Thank you for joining. Back again tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern. We're going to get really moving now because Amazon's back and everything is wonderful. Bye for now. Take care. I'll see you all